Check. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining on time as usual. Appreciate that. Helps us all out. Christian, is bulls the ticker for like we bull, or are you just saying, or we mean to say bullish on Tesla? Let me know, and I'll write it down for you. If anybody else want me to go over some stuff, put it in the chat. I'll write it down for you. We'll go over it after SPY and QQQ, which, let's see, it's 5 o'clock my time, probably a big old gap up. Yep, we are gapping up right to that super important level, but we will go over that in just 1 second. Tesla bullish, yep, love it. Anything over, I don't know where it closed last week, anything over that 280. Good opportunity to buy in for sure. Day trade swings are risky, obviously, with day trades, big level, but yeah, we'll go over Tesla for sure. Got a request from Norvin, got a request from Christian. We'll see who else. Usually rolls in pretty late. We'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes and we'll dive in, guys. All right, guys, a little bit smaller class. That's all right. You guys are here on time, so we're going to roll with that. As always, start out Spine QQQ, put your requests in as they come. We'll try and get to one each person, and we'll take it from there, you guys. But as of now, you guys, big gap up. So if you guys are swinging puts, hopefully you trimmed. Hopefully you got some profit because we're gapping up big time on some China US trade tariff related stuff. And as of now, the markets are loving it. So a little bit of a condensed, squeezed in look here on the chart before we kind of zoom in. But this is where, as of now, if you look to the right here, this is where we're opening. And it's really, markets are funny. It's no coincidence to me, in my mind, that, this big overhead zone, you can kind of see it shaded in red. How every time we get there, how it's just a super, super important spot. And now, or as of now, we're going to open at or just above it. And so as I zoom in, you guys, we'll give you guys a better game plan on how I'm going to try and trade this, how I'll try and guide you guys tonight how to trade this week. But as of now, it's going to be one of those huge gap up days. And one of three things are going to happen. We're going to gap up and we're going to stall and we're going to kind of just trade sideways, or we're going to gap and go, as I say, gap up and just a bullish day, or we'll gap and we'll retrace a little bit under this level here. So again, I'm on the 1 hour time frame, you guys. Larger picture, I'll zoom in underneath this red zone here. So for me, I'm not looking to get puts tomorrow unless we open under or we sell through this 570 zone, because we see this top pocket here. Again, this red zone here, focus on this, you guys, that maybe on your phones or something might be a little small, but you can see once we sell through that or get that level up, how selling pressure kicks in every single time. And so for me, I'm not going to short, whether we say, hey, SPY's up too much right now or today or whatever it is, or whatever your reasoning is. We got to find a reason to want to short. And for now, just because the market's up a lot is not a good reason. You got to do it at key levels of resistance, key moving averages. If we hit this 537.20, or excuse me, 573.27 this week is the daily 200. That's a reason to go short. I did that last week on the QQQ. But again, if we're still trickling in here, let me just clear this and zoom in. But last chance you guys to kind of see the big picture where we're at and focus on this small candle here as I zoom in for you guys on kind of what I'm looking at this week, what I think might happen. Again, still in the 1 hour time frame. So any holds here, guys, you guys are taking notes, following along. Any holds at this top level of this red zone here, I'm staying long with caution, buying all dips until, the hourly 20 fails me, the EMAs fail me, stuff like that. This is kind of what I mentioned last week. Similar down here, scalp zone. So anything in between here, like 570.32 to 571.3, basically a $1 range. This is just scalper's paradise. I'm not overly bullish or bearish in here. I think both can pay. But any sells through it during the day, or if this candle doesn't hold and we sell through this pre-market and we open under, I'm looking for a bearish retest of puts here for a similar rejection and follow through like that. Despite the news, I'm playing the chart, even though news and data can and will take the lead at times. But that is my game plan for tomorrow. Big picture time frame. I could zoom on the 5 minutes, still going to look the same. But pay attention to this candle here, and then again, your two biggest levels I think that you can mark for a game plan tomorrow. To be safe, wait for that 570 to sell through and go short, because we can see the selling pressure that happens. But again, chop or scalping zone only in here. And then over this, and he opens over and holds. So even if we open over, we sell into it and we bounce. I'm staying long on this day, the market's been waiting on news, US and China going back and forth, kind of putting out tweets and statements, contradicting each other back and forth. And finally, it appears there's some sort of a deal made, that is good news, that the market's been waiting for that. And so, there is a reason that this move is justified to go up. whether you think the market should be up or not. The markets were waiting the news. We got the news, and that is my game plan. So a push into that. Daily 200, it's a very slow moving average. It's still going to be somewhere around 573. So if we push up into that, look for some commentary in my tab. Definitely, if you catch this bottom and you catch some, SPY calls with, a couple days of time, definitely you should have already turned on the way up, revert back to some big levels. But we push this daily 200 for sure. I'm only down to a runner if I catch this move tomorrow. And then we break over that, boom, sell up here 574.4 basically. So any questions on SPY before I move on? Chat is pretty quiet. Class is fairly small, 22 people. Let me know if not. Otherwise, I'm going to go to QQQ and get you guys a game plan. QQQ, similar thing. So we're gapping up over 494.42. Let's zoom out just a little bit, kind of see how to play this, where to play this, some big things here. So this was my resistance line, daily 200. Gonna get this guy green now because green is support for me, red is resistance. That's how I roll. So that's my game plan now. Just again, where we're at now. Let's zoom left, on a zoomed in look here and kind of see plan of action, how to trade this. So again, we are up over this 494.42. Keep going left here. We got to go back to, again, you guys taking notes or want to chart along with me. February 27th is kind of this price action right in here. And so that's what I always do. I never delete lines for you guys that may be new traders. I always keep the lines. I keep my support and resistance because guess what? We always come back to it and the levels always matter. So again, we're, what did I say this was? Late February. So yeah, we're opening basically over this zone here. So that is my first line of defense to be bullish and stay bullish on 494.42 and big overhead zone. Again, you guys, I say week after week, there's tons of scalping levels on the 5-minute, before I say, hey, next big level is 497. Like that's a $3 range. But these are big levels based on the hourly where I take my trades on. So, I trade with caution between them. I trade with confidence, full size positions at around these zones. So if we continue to back test this zone here, when I zoom back to the right, this 494.42, I'm staying bullish with calls on that for a possible push up during the day. 497, if we're lucky, could be a huge day. 500. What do we know about round psychological numbers, even numbers, 500, 100, 200, whatever it is, 50, like that 500, definitely the target this week for sure. Okay, as I zoom left here, see if I can not mess up this chart for you. Same thing, same game plan, you guys. This is what I'm going to do. Let me clear this real quick. So again, any bounces here, I'm on the 1-hour chart still. Any holds at this level, I'm staying bullish. Any sells, kind of a little scalp pocket, but any sells through 494 here, I'm bearish on the day. Doesn't mean I'm super mega bearish on the week, but I'm just saying, hey, they bounced it on news. They sold through an important support. Maybe, the news was good, but the markets are not believing it. The markets don't want to go up, or maybe we get some more bad tweets or something, whatever it is. If we sell through this level here, 494, I'll be bearish on the day. I'll take my puts for definitely a retrace to this Thursday high here, this Friday zone here. Absolutely. What do we know about the daily 200 moving average? It's slow, and it is now a form of support. So bearish thesis, hypothetical, we sell through it, we trim all the way down. We come into a huge big ass support that was resistance, resistance, resistance. It is now support on the way down. I'm for sure selling everything down here, no questions asked, at 491. If we go more, that's fine. I'll get it in for the next leg down. But I'm looking to play this bounce here at a daily 200 moving average and a huge support here, definitely. But again, this 494.42 holds. Look for the trend to continue, even though it's a huge gap up. Ride the momentum. If everything is pushing, there's no sign of selling pressure or weakness in buying. Just stay long. Don't short stuff because you think it's up too much or overextended, or the RSI in the 5-minute or whatever it is. Just ride the momentum, you guys. Follow the money, follow the big money, because, don't short it just because. Any questions on Q? Can I share the chart? Take a screenshot if you want, or I can share. I can literally share. If you send me a DM, I think I can share it and it'll give you guys all the levels. But if you want to take a screenshot, these are the guy's new to charting or whatever that asks for levels. These are, like I said, if you're gonna take a screenshot, go ahead. If I go to 5 minute, we can obviously see, there's levels in here, we catch a bounce down here, sell at 489, that's fine. But again, I'm looking for key areas. We push up something like this, double top rejection. Yeah, resistance, grab your puts. We start building a base down here, grab your calls. Obviously, on a 5 minute, there's many, many levels in here for your zero DTE plays. But for me, I trade stuff with 2 or 3 days expiration. That's how I roll with it. Laurel, yeah, let's do IWM real quick. The chat's quiet with requests, so let me jump on that. It's an ETF that a lot of people like to play. Let's get a game plan for you for sure. Let's check the 4 hour, kind of see where the heck we're at. Haven't traded this guy in a while. Yeah, let me get this. I see a couple levels here that I probably need to get you going here. Definitely kind of last week's high, which would have been Friday. I like that candle rejection there from Thursday. We look left and boom, it lines up perfect here, lines up perfect on this support here. I love when that works like this. Top side resistance, smackdown, definitely. Upper middle range here. Where are we looking if we push into that for you? Mid zone there. Let me grab something here. All right. 4 hour, yeah, let's zoom in. Let's get a game plan for you, brother. So again, resistance is now support. So this week, or as of now, we gapped over that big 202.6. So that is that's our last line of defense. So meaning this level doesn't hold tomorrow or this week. We're going to come down most likely into here eventually. Again, there's a lot of levels in between for scalping, but larger time frame picture. I'm on the 30-minute chart right now. So any sell down into here, we're opening kind of right at the next resistance level if we believe this candle and this holds in the overnight session. So 204.72, kind of quick charting, but basically where that candle opens for us, that's a key. If you guys don't keep your pre-market after hours on, you definitely want to keep those on because it tells you a lot of information. But any holds here, so we open over and we back test and buyers are proving defending that level. Stay long here at 204.72 for a possible, kind of mid to upper range. 206 zone, we blast past that. Maybe we get through that early in the day and we're just running all day. That's fine. Look to these upper levels here. But, we push up to here, kind of like something like this, and just we're kind of going sideways. Looks like a little selling pressure kicks in. This is an okay short for me. Like we sold through a big support here. We spent an hour and a half on the day, whatever it is. We're not breaking up higher. Markets are kind of stalling. That's an okay short. 204.72. I'm okay with that because what's it going to do? This gap here, we sell into it. We're now starting to fill the gap. Does it mean we have to fill it in 1 day or 1 hour in a week? I don't know. Sometimes we get halfway through the gap, we bounce, we kind of trickle up, and we lay down, we start filling the gap, we lay down again. I don't know what's going to happen on that gap, but when we start to break resistance and start filling the gap to the downside, that is a bearish signal. And so I'd be coming back down into here looking for some puts into definitely here. I'd be all out. I'll be looking for that bounce from last week's high for sure. That sells through, that's fine. Take a little bit more, but with caution. To have all this information here, definitely. Yeah, Laura, you'd like to trade 1 or 2 DTs. That's perfect. Yep. So I'd follow that game plan, brother. Just kind of see where we open. For me, use that 204.72 early tomorrow. See if we stay bullish. We could very well, just lose gas right away. We could go sideways for a while. And so just try and play the chart best you can, not the percent, and just see what it tells you on the chart. All right, Norman's messaged me back. What do you want? All right, back to the watch list, you guys. Norman was first. He messaged me before this class in DMs. He wants OSCR, Oscar Healthcare. There was some news over the weekend. Trump signed an executive order or something about lowering prescription drug costs up to 80%. It's a pretty sexy headline. If you guys have health issues, up to 80%. Doesn't mean everything will be 80%, but you gotta figure out how to play that. That is good for Americans that are, deep with medical bills and medical issues. Does that cut into profits of health and medicine companies? We got to figure that out, how to play that. So I don't play healthcare a lot. I'm going to try and stay neutral on that advice, how to play that. But as of now, let's just trade the chart and let's see, kind of see what we got going with this chart here. Let's check the 4-hour. And kind of see what we got. Big old earnings gap up. That's fine. It held it post 2 or 3 days. So let's kind of see. It pushed up. I'm not going to say it stalled. I'm going to say it held. So we pushed up and held a level here. Fresh chart. Never trade this. Is kind of nice. Let me get some levels for you here. So I'm ignoring this for now, you guys that are new to charting, how I chart stuff. First time I see stuff, I'm ignoring this to come back to it, but I'm focusing on all this area over here. I'm finding big pushes up, rejections here. So I see 1, 2, 3 rejections. So immediately I'm grabbing top zone here. I see a sell down. We don't need these levels here, at least for now. You know, if we're down in here, I'd get them for you. But again, push up, we're rejecting daily 200 rejection, 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 rejection. You get the point. Kind of going through this fast just to make sure we have time for everybody. So quick charting here, you guys. This is my lower range to trade in because it was resistance all through here now. We broke over it. So now I'm treating this as support, the 1737 kind of quick charting. Maybe one more downside level here. We get these levels here. You can see rejection, consolidation, push up, rejection again. Moving left some more, just looking left. I'm not even checking right of last week's price action quite yet. So we see this big range here. It is basically a $3 range. We'll call it, or wait, $2 range, 17 to 19 basically. Okay, but that can move very nice on shares. I'm not smart enough percent, but you're flipping shares in here. That's a nice 11% flip. You know, if you buy at 17, you sell at 19 in 3, 4, 5, 7 days, 11% on a share flip. Can't argue with that. Art Norman zoomed in. Look here. Let's take a look here, brother. So nice earnings gap up. Would have to read the report. Don't know anything about it. But checking levels here. What do I see? I see a nice, let me get my drawings here. So again, this was resistance. Remember, resistance. What do we do? Push into it, earnings gap up. What do we do? Come back, test, test, 1 bottom, 2 bottom, double bottom on support. So if you guys want to play this chart, you like the chart, stay long for sure, as long as 17 holds. We start giving out 17 here, give way, look to be bearish on it. I don't know liquidity on these this name, but purely from a chart perspective, break out of retest, support holds, and they've proven, hey, this isn't just a fake breakout and they selling through it right away. Back-to-back days, they held this level here after hours and then during the day here. So again, lower range, kind of mid-range here, and upper range here. We see 19, how we get selling pressure on that. So definitely a back test if we don't get it, if this candle holds here. Absolutely looking for a sell here, Norman. 1818 flat, kind of quick charting. More so that 1818 to this Thursday wick there. If I catch this move here, I'm for sure trimming. Absolutely, I'm looking at that chart there for sure, trimming that, definitely. Any back tests to that zone there? So if we kind of hold this level here and back test, absolutely, I'm still buying calls here. I'm a call buyer here. If you catch this move down, take your puts. That's fine. You're catching a 40-cent move, you know, on a delta, on your delta Greeks. That's going to pay you pretty nice. Sell through that. That's fine. But I'm not going to, like I was saying, I'm not going to watch the move down here and decide to take puts right here. No, I'm looking to take calls for a 1, 2, 3 possible triple bottom. Hope that makes sense on some charting patterns for you guys. Makes sense. But again, very nice setup here. Very nice $2 range for shares and options. Pretty good setup, man. Avenger, yep. PLTR for sure. Give me 1 second. We got to hit Tesla for Christian. Sure, we're gapping up nice the mark on Tesla. Let's see where we're at. Oh, yeah. All right. Trade the chart, not your emotions, not the percent. Let's get a big thick line here. You know what? Let's color it red. Let's find it on the chart. Where does this line up? Let's zoom out. Again, trying to help you guys out here that just get super emotional, don't really have a game plan, or maybe newer traders, you know, trying to figure out. So again, big gap up here as expected on the overall markets, this 313 here. Okay, let's zoom left. Let's figure out how important that 313 is. Sold through it, knife down. Might need to add a bunch of time. Now I got a year time here. Let's see how far back we got to zoom to hit that 313 again, because I want to come into there. Let's see, because I don't want to say, hey, take calls here, you know, and have you guys get smoked. All right, so Tesla was getting its ass kicked, and then this is probably the election pump with Elon. Yep, Doge, all that stuff. Back to 313. Let me get a couple levels here for you, Christian. People like to trade Tesla. Get him on the 4-hour. Let me see if that makes sense here, because I don't trade Tesla a lot. Looking here, where my cursor is, line up with that consolidation. Yeah, that's just a big gap up. Let me get a middle range here, because I don't want to give you like big $10 swings, but Tesla can do it for sure. Yeah, I like that. All right, 30-minute. Big gap up. Like I say, this is going to be kind of a tricky class for you guys, tricky to give you guys advice. If you're swinging, if you're in calls and you're swinging, great, you're getting paid. If you're in puts, you know, take the cut, move on. Or if you're in a small size and you got time, the one time I would say average down, even though this is, you know, $13 against you, but you can still, you know, get a little meat off the bones on an average down. It's not good trading practice, but a lot of you guys don't cut. So if you're inputs, you try to play this breakdown here and you're hoping for a sell down into here tomorrow. It's not going to happen. You're going to be hurting. But again, this red zone here, all eyes on 313. That's the level for me for Tesla if I were to trade that tomorrow or this week. Christian, any opens over, bounce, retest, kind of same story as every chart tonight. Any holds a 313, I'm looking for a next leg up, possibly to 317, so another $4 move. Move up here and up here to that 328. I know there's a lot of bullish flow lately, short term. Whether the flow is right, you know, maybe they got into it, maybe they got lucky with some tariff news, whatever you want to call it. But any holds there, again, if you're not in calls already, definitely watch this level here. So if we stall out here and we start selling under, that's a good short for me. Even though we have a huge gap up and it looks, you know, bullish in the pre-market, whatever it is, if we start selling through 313, we looked left there, every time we sell through 313, how big that move comes. So that's an okay short there. Again, I need to see it under that. Possible touch is a 309. We sell through at where we're going to sell 1K. What do we sell? Friday's high, no question. So you trimmed here. Okay. Shitty arrow. Okay. You got one runner left. Where are we trimming? You look left. This cluster here. You draw a line, trim. So you trim, you trim, you trim. You have a true runner. Take it down there. Now, this cluster here, you're winning big time on puts. Maybe this comes quick. Maybe this comes in 2 days. I'm looking for bounces in between here, whether it's tomorrow, this week, for this cluster to hold here. Sell through that, that's fine. Cut your calls for a small loss. Take it down because we're probably going to this daily 200 moving average here. So again, focus on that 313 this week. Any holds over it, get bullish on a new entry, stay bullish on your swings, whatever it is. But if you took, you know, calls somewhere down here and you're up on swings tomorrow, trim a bunch. If they expire this week or, you know, a week or two from now, trim them, reward yourself, pat yourself on the back for, you know, a swing or a lucky news play, whatever you want to call it, and then just ride one. If we break out over or we kind of chop here and then tomorrow we break out over, like that runner is paid for big time. But any sells through here, I'm bullish on the day for it. Okay. Hopefully that helps you. If not, send me a DM. All right. Cam, NVIDIA, let's hit it. And some 119 calls this week. All right. What level on the chart, Cam, if you're still here, did you enter, if you can remember, like maybe time of day or somewhere? It kind of sold down and consolidated. So let me know kind of where you entered at. I'll pay attention to the chat. Yeah, Christian, you're welcome. Yep, send me a DM if you need some more help. Cam, let me know in the chat where you entered on Friday, I'm assuming, or maybe this week, and kind of give you a trade plan. You're down 30%. So where on the chart, like, was it around 118 if you're down? So you probably entered Friday to start of the day or somewhere Thursday. Just so I can get a line on the chart if you remember. If not, let me know. It's no biggie. Just kind of helps me get a game plan for you for sure. Because I kind of want to see, let's see here. On the 8th. Okay. 1:30 West Coast time. I'm going to assume, I shouldn't assume. So use your brain power one. Okay, that's 10:30. So we'll just call this cluster here. Okay, so you entered here. That's a good entry. Can't fault you on that. But now you're going to be up nice tomorrow. So here's your game plan. First plan of action, you already know what I'm going to say, is, if you ended around here, you're in profit. If you didn't sell, fine, that's fine. I'm not going to beat you down for that. But the next day, so you went, break even, green. The next day you went red, held, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to fault you on that. So you went green, red, back green. What is your rule now? Rule number 1 tomorrow, stops at break even, brother. Stops at break even. There's no way that you went down 30% on a swing. And again, kind of we're all getting lucky on some swings here. We're gapping up, and now you're going to be up, I don't know what percent on these 119s. You're in the money as long as this move holds. So no questions asked, no excuses. Put your stop at break even. Let the market kind of do its thing first few minutes of the day. Again, stops on, and then kind of watch that price action. Then build your game plan. Here's your game plan. But what you can't do is you can't sleep in, or you can't say, hey, we're going to be bullish all day. And we push up this 120 and you're up, down 30%, you're up 40, and you let this thing go red. That's bad trading. I'm not going to be happy. So again, get those stops on bare minimum at market open, get them at break even. So, let's just say we open here kind of around 120. Okay. So kind of hard here with yesterday's or last week's price action. Let me backtrack my thoughts really quick here. Condense this chart. Let's see. Let's check price action around 120. Hang with me here. I don't know how far I got zoom left. Yep. All right. Let me get you some more levels here, brother. 1 second. Grab this pre-market wick here. Why? Because it lines up perfect with this topside wick. It lines perfect with this wick here. If we break over 120, what is our game plan? Watching there. We break 120. What is our game plan? 119.57. That's kind of last chance for me. All right, let's go back. What are we working with here? All right, get out of drawing mode. Yeah, all right, I like that. All right, Cam, so for me, best case, perfect world is we open over 119.57 if you want to take notes or a screenshot. Any opens and hold over this is a hold for me for sure. I'm staying bullish on this name. Swings, day trades, absolutely. Okay, so again, stops or break even bare minimum at the open. So hypothetically, we don't hold this support at the open, we kind of sell through it. So now you have to go, okay, we sold to that support I showed you when we looked left over here. We kind of gave up a near-term support the last week. And so now you have to go, okay, I was up 40% hypothetically, just throwing a number here at the open. Now this is your profit zone, and you have to decide, we broke support here. How much am I willing to give back to see if we bounce back? Again, break even, fairly deep green, 30%, now you're red. So are you going to take 5%? Are you going to take 20 or 40? I don't know what this is again. You got to decide. Okay. All I know is it's hard as hell to make money in this market in 2025. I get DMs week after week. And if you catch a swing trade on the right side of it, you better be securing some profit, brother. So as long as 119.57 holds, you have a set break even. What I would do is we see what percent you're up. So again, I'm just going to use this number. Say you're up 40%. We start pushing. Bare minimum, your stop is now at 40% or this level here. Okay. We break next level resistance. Maybe you trim, maybe you're holding because you're greedy. We break 120. Where's your next stop out? 120, no questions asked. If we push up here, even 120, and you let this come back down into here and you haven't sold yet, that is foolish trading. Okay. So for all you call swingers, I hope this holds here. But 119.57, we sell through that. Could see some selling pressure on a retrace back down. So I hope it holds for you guys. I really do. I want to see you guys make money in this market. We're a team. 119.57 for you NVIDIA lovers there. But again, sell through that. I'm buying calls all day long off this level here, 118.25. Nice volume cluster here. Rejected Friday, but that's going to be support. So buy all support bounces into here. Yep, glad I could help you. If you're struggling with it, or let me know. I don't know how experienced you are, but just send me a DM. I'll help you out. But hopefully this works. Like I said, if they hold that 119.57, no reason to be short here, other than, kind of sneaky after hours, double topish zone up in here, double top, but obviously you catch this bounce here, you're going to be up big and you better be selling up here for sure. All right, let me make sure I don't miss anything on the chat. NVIDIA, trade scalp. Yep, all right. All right, let me get caught in the chat. I got Norman in here. Good to see Norman. Avenger, PLTR. And I'll hit AMD right after that. Class is pretty slow. We're only halfway through class. We got some time. PLTR. Quick drink of water, 1 second here. Man, PLTR respects levels so much. Love it. Don't play it a whole lot. I think this is all-time highs up here. If you guys not trade that yet. Earnings, yep. So they sweep that move there, all-time highs in the after-hour session. So that trigger didn't ping for me, but this is all-time highs up here, guys. Not exact penny, but just the range, the upper range here, all-time high, 125.6 basically. This was resistance here, this red. I'm going to extend this here because that's a good game plan for us. Top right, just add a couple months onto that. There we go. Kind of a mid-range here. Who was this? Avenger, pay attention to the chat. Are you in this, or you just want a game plan how to trade this? Let me know in the chat. Kind of helps me out. And for everyone that does requests, damn it, what the hell? It helps me in the chat, kind of give you guys a game plan. May 23rd, 120, or excuse me, May 23rd, 120. Are you in profit already, or did you just get in on, because man, if you got in anywhere on Friday, you're gonna be sitting pretty. All right, let me get some levels here for you. Mid-zone upper range here. 15%, nice. You're gonna be up really nice tomorrow. All right, so yeah, this will be easy analysis for you, for sure. So we got your attention here. So I'm on the 30-minute chart here, kind of just big picture, high trade guys and Avenger that's watching. So again, this is just how I trade. This is how I learned to, be more successful week after week, month after month. Is I look for big peaks and bottoms in the market. So where is price pushing and then kind of retracing back down, pushing, retracing back down, selling down, kind of bouncing, stuff like that. And that's kind of how I find my levels on the chart, so to speak. And so that's kind of my focus here on this chart for you, because this is a pretty cut and dry, pretty easy setup for me. Other than this, I'm going to move this down here, and hopefully this makes sense why. So, okay, resistance, break over to support. This would be colored green if we were trading right back here. A sell through, so this is back resistance for me. So we see here, let's go back to the day before earnings and earnings day. We see we push up here, Avenger. So we push up, got a little bit of a cluster here, so a little volume accumulation here, and then boom, breakout and a move. Okay, we sell down, a little bit of a battle here. We sell, sellers are cheering, buyers are saying nope. You may have caught a day trade down to here and sold, but larger time frame, buyers are buying this back up. Sell through it on earnings, okay? And now we look to the right and we figure out a game plan for it and why that's going to kind of make sense here. So again, any pushes up into this level here. So for me, Avenger, at this level holds best case scenario in a perfect world. So we hold this basically anything over 121 to 3. We push up here, and you better be selling those heavily. If you're in 1, I'm absolutely selling. I'm setting an alert for 122 to 122.2. The alert is going to trigger, and I'm going to make profit, and we're going to be riding it out. Or if you're in several calls, you know, you're in 5. I would take at least 3, maybe 4 off, and then see if this kind of this range here we looked up just a few days ago or last week from earnings, how the breakouts were kind of struggling right there. So you don't want to be holding full position here, watching us struggle and then come down over 121. You're like, man, I was up 80%. Now I'm up 50. I didn't sell. Now I'm up 30. And now I'm back to, you know, hypothetically where I was, you know, somewhere down here on Friday. That's just bad trading, guys. Again, it is hard to make money in this market. You know, takes a little bit of luck, takes a lot of skill. But any holds over this level, hold and hold with confidence, but definitely trim up here. If we sell through that, again, like I told, was it Cam or the person before? When we open tomorrow, bare minimum stops or break even. So I don't know what those calls cost you, probably a couple $100, whatever it is. Say they're 250. You know, at minimum, your stop is at 250. Okay. See where we open here. If we kind of trickle, kind of stall out, that's okay. If we stall out here, check what the premium price is. So if you bought in down here, again, just throwing out a number, you bought at 250 and now they're up 350. So if they're at 350 at the open, we start pushing up. Where's your stop? Bare minimum, my stop is at the open 350. No questions asked. We push up here, sell some. Now your contract, again, just hypothetical number, your contract is worth $400. We push over. Where's your stop? 400. That is how you guys leg up and have a true runner, no stress at all. Who cares if we push up, we come back down into here? You're in here at 250. You get stopped out at 400. There is no way that should make you mad. If we say push up, sell down, you get triggered. No way I'm mad about that trade. Absolutely not. But again, kind of a sell under 121, you better be thinking, hey, I should secure profit, reposition, or sell on most, hold a runner here, you know, kind of see what this level does here. Makes perfect sense here from Thursday. We hold that, yeah, we might bounce. We sell through again. You know, I'm selling all my trades in profit. There's no way I'm gonna watch a sell under 120 and come all the way back down into here. There's no way. There's money tied up. You're giving up all that money back down. It's just, and on top of that, it's just bad trading. So hopefully that helps you. Again, same goes to you. Send me a DM if you need some more help. But like I said, for you guys that are in calls, I hope all these levels hold for you guys. Let's see. Got a couple more requests. Let me swing down back with AMD. I want to get what do we got here? Ish got Meta. Let's hit it. Ooh, Meta. Bottom range bounce, top range rejection as of now. If you have time today, yep. Ish, I think I'm seeing your name. Oh, that's ISH. Are you already in Meta, or you just want me to kind of help you out on this? Let me know in the chat if you're still in here. I'll pay attention. Because I don't, you know, I like the gap up if you're swinging calls, but I don't like where we're gapping up right here. That's going to be tricky to tell, for me to tell you guys or anyone that's in this to hold. For me, if we gap, I'll wait for it in the chat. If we gap up and open into here, I'm selling at the open. I'm not going to hold anything. Understand the chart. All right, let's roll with it. That's fine. Let's zoom out a little bit, kind of show you what I'm looking at here. The 61043. So again, let me compress this just a little bit. It can be hard to see you guys on your phones, but hang with me here. So again, before we check this May level here, I'm looking back here. Where am I at? I'm on early March. So kind of a trickle down here, kind of how I watch things again. Trickle down into here, sold through support, sold through support. Big support hits, we start seeing some buybacks defending. Push up to resistance, a little bit tough, you know. Push up, you know, kind of catch those moving averages again, but ultimately sell back down this thick line. What do? We sell through it, resistance, resistance, buy back over it. What do? Where's the magnet? Back into this thick line. So now we sold through it, probably some news back in March. Don't remember what it was. We sell through, bounce rejection, never quite made it here. Okay, going to clear the chart, focus on that thick line, just kind of how I trade. And then this top range here, the 61043. Remember how we kind of pushed when breakouts failed? What do? We went back to the lower range. Breakouts failed here. What do? Back to the lower range. So Meta, zooming left. And again, for me, how I see stuff, yes, it's a large range, but this is kind of how I trade. I take my shots at big levels here. So present day, last week, push up, kind of sell through after hours, sell through pre-market. What happens? Buyers kick in. They say, hey, we're buying this basically 593. Buyback, breakouts are not sustained. That's fine. We open over that under that Tuesday, sellers failed. What happens when they fail? Selling pressure. Wednesday, buyback over. Thursday, Friday, you can take puts in there, but if you're late chasing puts down there, you're getting smoked. Zoom in for you here on a day trade game plan. So a zoomed in look here, still on the 30-minute chart. Chart still makes sense. For me, where'd my drawings go? There they go. Any opens at or into here, calls do not interest me whatsoever. If I'm not in, I do not want calls up here. Double top potential. Break over, that's fine. Get bullish, because guess what? We broke last week's range. We broke last week's high, range. So this is now support. So when you break over 610.43 with caution, breakout, retest, get your calls on sell. You don't catch your top candle breakout. The people that swung these, they're catching that breakout. And what are you doing? You don't buy up here. You're literally buying their sells for people that swung calls down here. So breakout, retest, get your calls at support, because your risk is very, very small. If this support does not hold here, we know we're going to sell down back into it and underneath it. So as long as that level holds there, get bullish for another leg up. But again, I'm very hesitant on wanting to take calls tomorrow morning at the open. If we kind of another scenario, if we open kind of this range down here, this little cluster here, this Thursday afternoon cluster, which is Friday's high. So if we kind of open over 606, like this is an okay dip buy, because you're buying, you're not just buying a random level. You're buying Friday's high, which is a support. If you got new traders, pre-market high, we now have pre-market low here, pre-market high, low, previous day, high, low, and previous week, high, low. So that's 6 things. If you can only chart 6 things every Sunday night with me, those are the 6 things. Again, pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, low, and the weekly high and low. So there's our previous day high. That's our low down here. This is our last week high. Absolutely mark that. So any holds over 606, that's an okay dip buy, again, up into this huge resistance zone here. So I'm not going to take calls at 606, catch a $4 move and not sell anything. That's just really, really bad trading, because also you're not selling into this resistance here, this pre-market, tariff news gap up. Just bad trading. So hopefully it helps you ish. Break out of that range, get long, stay long on it. But just this is one of the few charts we went over tonight where calls at the open, not for me. If we open up here, definitely not for me. Okay. Kind of caught up. Ray, new request. Let's get it. TSM. I haven't done this one in a while, I don't think. Oops. All right. Ooh, daily 200. Let's look at that. Overhead yellow line, 183. Ray, are you in this, or you just want some perspective? Let me know. Because it's just easier, guys. If you're looking for an entry, or if you're already up on, something like those other ones, I can just give you a better analysis on it. So I'm on the 4-hour here, perspective. Perfect, love it. If the markets are bullish, stay bullish, but you're kind of running out of time. I see a lot of things up here that I don't want to be. I always say in the chat, don't be late to the party. I'm going to do a range here for you because it kind of makes more sense. So kind of run out of time here. So see where I started, the bottom of this range here, that line, and then watch how I extend on the top and see if it kind of makes sense for you guys here. Kind of that cluster. Didn't quite get there last week, but for me, this is kind of running out of time. And so if we look left here, so I push up kind of a cluster here. What happened? Why did we reject? Daily 200, that yellow dash line. Okay. Pushed up, tried to retrace it. didn't hit the moving average, but we hit kind of this overhead supply and push up consolidation. You know what are they doing? Big money. They're selling it. Look left to last week. Again, I'm still on the 4-hour chart. I'll zoom in for you, get some more lines. But again, once again, have these levels, larger time frame analysis, you guys. It's how you win long term in the market. Do not just open up your phones in a 5-minute and just take a trade. You got to know where we're at every single day. So again, 4-hour chart here, just last Monday. Again, pre-market session pushed up. What do we do? Reject the daily 200, reject overhead supply zone. Okay, still in the 4-hour. Let me get some lines in here for you now. Gonna be quick charting, but we'll make it make sense. Top side wick there, top side wick there, bottom zone there, makes sense. Friday, high rejecting. Why rejecting? Let's look left or reject. Monday, high of the week. What did I say? Highs of the week. Always know where that's at. So if you catch this sell down, you're catching calls, you're cheering, you're cheering. Why do we sell down here? That was the high of, not pre-market, but the high of the trading session that week. Rejected. Where are we going to open? The high of last week. So another name, just like Meta. Again, Ray, just kind of cautious up here to be bullish. Can we make more of a move? Yeah, but any signs of weakness on the market, this is a better short setup for me. So this is a 4-hour chart here. Last chance, go to 1 hour. More detailed look for you here. So again, this is not where I want to start a call position, because we can see clearly, again, I trade the chart, not the percent. Rejections there. Rejections, rejections, rejections. Like, how many times does the market have to prove to you, not you, but just people, 180.45 is a very important level to watch there. So again, if the market kind of stalls, we open out here, this is like, maybe not A+, but this is a no-brainer put setup, because your risk is somewhere, like, this is your risk, like somewhere small, 15, 20, 25%. You're not taking puts, you're not holding to here, see if we reject. No way. You're taking puts, kind of looking left here, look at these candles here, draw a line here, basically probably 180.8, whatever it is. Like, this is your risk on puts, very, very small. This hypothetically doesn't mean you have to hit it. That's your reward on puts. And so again, find these setups. This is, for me, first priority for me, any sideways market or weak market. This is a put play for me, bearish for sure. But again, we get bullish, we stay bullish, we break last week's high. So a breakout retest, yeah, definitely get long on some calls. We're day traders, guys. Let's not get emotional on the way we want to trade. Play the chart. We break 180.45, get long, take your calls here, because on the flip side, your risk is small. It's these candles here. That's what you're risking. So meaning you take your calls here, you got to be able to sit through this. You're not going to be instant green. If we sit through here, we chop down, we tag here, we bounce up, you're back to break even, get long, stay long. We start selling through this little cluster here, this little after hour session here, and it's probably going to get bearish. Sell your calls for a small loss, get bearish, trim, trim, trim all the way down. So again, not my favorite bullish setup, just with what we have, $3 away, but hey, it can go more. Definitely tradable chart for sure. All right, let me go back to some repeats here. Avenger, if you're still in here, let's hit some AMD. I know you guys like to trade this name. So basically, AMD last week kind of struggling consolidation. I mean, not huge consolidation, but basically the big magnet coloring the screen. We have now broken over 100. Once we're over 100, get long, stay long. Upper range here. Don't get too excited. Let's find out where we're going to open here. Let me zoom out a little bit here. 106.15. Do you think it makes sense where they're going to open us at? Absolutely. Reddish level. So present day right here, looking left. Always find where is the action. Where is our action? We sell through that. What happens when we sell through that? Selling pressure down. What happens when we sell through that? Selling pressure down. What happens when we break and retest that? Buying pressure Might have been Newsday, but anyway. So again, this red line here, similar to Meta, similar to that last one. I already forgot what we just went over, but that's kind of where it's funky here on AMD. Avenger, if you're not in it already, I'd be patient for anybody that's watching this AMD chart. I'm not going to watch an open here at 106.15 and get long. Not for me. We open here, not a lot of reward left here because I'm expecting, unless we are just super, super bullish, if we open under it, I'm expecting a smackdown. But any opens over it, and that's probably going to trigger big buying. People that are short, puts that are short, or not a short put, but people are in puts, panic sell, breakout, big move happening, release to the upside. So 106.15, if we quote River, that's my line in the sand. Does that make sense? That's where it's opening there. That is Tuesday's after hour session there. Absolutely. Sell under that, get bearish for sure. Who cares if we gapped up? Markets get weak. Again, we are day traders. Ride the wave, ride the momentum. This gets weak. Thursday's high, sell it. Thursday's, morning session, sell it. Get down into Friday's high, right in here, trim. So trim on your puts all the way down. Leave a runner down this cluster. Any break over, and we start looking left, or any break over, yeah, get your call position, start it, but not until that holds. Again, I'm not gonna see a consolidation here and go, I'm taking calls because we're up pre-market. I'm not taking calls resistance. It's a good way to get smoked 30% of your contracts really, really quickly. Let's see. All right, Norvin, you want QQQ 500? Yeah, Norvin, if we stay bullish this week, you guys, QQQ 500 is the psychological number. It's the magnet, whatever you want to call it. It is definitely the target this week if we stay bullish. But again, Twitter and this administration are very wild, so anything can happen this week. Let's if we get bullish, stay bullish, but don't keep the blinders on. Anything can happen. Okay. I know I had a couple repeats in here. Let me see, or double requests. Let's see. 1 second here. I need to find it. I can play about this chat. Norvin, yeah, let's hit Cisco, and then Ish, let's hit CVNA. Is that Carvana? I think. Let's see. Let's hit Cisco. Man, why is this thing right in my way? Stupid drawing tool. It's not staying put. Oops. Cisco. Wait, did I not do that right? CSCO. Yes. All right. You bullish on this, Norman? Don't love it if you want to start a position, but yeah, cheap cons, brother. But again, similar to that range I drew, it can definitely go more. But when I see this cluster here, so I sell down, make it up halfway, and we just start inching our way up into it. I don't love being long here. I want to be long off a break retest. Obviously, it's hindsight and calls down here, brother. It can go more. Just we start pushing this 62. You better be trimming and better be careful on day trades. That's just kind of how I trade, man. Again, there's some meat left on the bones. Just kind of be mindful as we, consolidation. What does it lead to? Huge release, hard sell, and we're not stalling out. We're just not breaking really, really high. We pushed up into it. Let's look at this here on Friday. I mean, a good example on Friday. What do we do? That red zone, we pushed up, and what do? We sold through it. So there's still sellers parked here heavily. And what are we going to try and do here? Pre-market, open at or in it. So for me, not a place I want to get long or trying to be long. I want to see a break over or say to be bullish on it. But to me, this is more of a short setup. If the markets get weak or kind of look weak, I can't be long here. Not saying you want to be long, but on the chart, it kind of made its move. If you didn't buy last week or 2 weeks ago here, or this support, or this support, or this support, or this support, you're late. I'd say it for anybody's chart, not just his. But don't love it to be bullish. But again, if markets start running, break over this kind of 61.5 or 62, this thing can run. for sure. I need to write these down. Sorry, guys. Oh, CV and A, right? Yeah. CV and A. All right. Ooh, let's see. Earnings breakout Wednesday. Fake, well, maybe not a fake sell, but maybe a sell down the numbers and then good guidance is my guess. They held it Thursday. They sold it Friday. All right. Let's where'd they sell it at? Why are they selling? Why is it struggling up here? Let's take a look here. Quick charting. Nope, don't want that. Top range here. Gonna mark these. We're gonna look left and see where are we stalling. Why are we stalling? Doesn't make sense. Okay, 284. Yep. Look at that. Breakout, stalling out on earnings. When's the last time we've been there? Last earnings in April, or excuse me, in February. Pushed up, stalled out before earnings. Yeah, see, we're trading with, hopefully not against, we're trading the computers, guys. These algos are smart. They can pin whatever price they want, and they're doing that here. That is what big money's doing. Look at that. All right, that's all the info I need. Look left, or excuse me, right. Sorry, guys. Zoom fast will it make it dizzy. Any push into this? Again, same thesis as last two couple tickers. I'm cautious here. Breakout and hold. I'll get long here. I'll try and get long here if I can. Any sell here, rejection here of that level. I'm not wanting to get long because to me it's an easy short. It's how I trade everything in my tab, just kind of how I trade in general. I don't want to get long here at resistance. I see a hard sell rejection at the open on Friday. Does it make sense? Yeah. We're triggering that sell there from that Thursday consolidation where basically a battle here on the 30-minute candles here, and then boom, breakout, sellers gave up, breakout move. Immediate sell through here. Bearish for sure on this level here. But a break and hold, let's go look for this top range. Again, I'm not saying buy here and this is target 1, target 2. No, lots of levels in between here for a day trade. I mean, if you buy September contracts on this, yeah, maybe this is a target 1 for you because you got time, but you're still going to be up nice if you can bottom ticket 284.3 and it kind of holds here, look left. All we got to do is look at Thursday and Friday's price action to find where we're selling. I'm looking left for this midday range here on Thursday. I'd be drawing a line here. Boom. Bottom tick, trim. Break over, retest, still in your calls. Where's your stop? Right there, no questions asked. Your stops were break even as we push up, we break over. Now we're breaking over. What do? Top range for the week. Sell all or just leave a true runner, meaning you sold. Now you're down to 1. Let's see if we get a breakout here. Get out, take your money, get out with your day, go for a walk, go play with your kids. You made big time money, catch $11 move there for sure. All right, guys, we hit our 1 hour. Let's do a recap. Definitely on QQQ for Norvin, and because I want to go over QQQ as well. Let's hit QQQ first, and we'll end it with SPY. If you guys gotta get out of here, you can. That's fine. But another recap, you guys might have joined late. Basically, plan of action here on the week. We have now gapped over 491, a huge resistance. So there's now green for me to support. We have now gapped over our daily 200, which gave us a ton of resistance and trouble last week. Again, we've gapped over it. So game plan on QQQ. A zoomed in look on the 30-minute here. 497, first plan of attack. If you swung calls and they're short dated, I'd sell at the open, free that money up, reposition, or just take the day off because you're catching a $10 move. You're going to be up massive, 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 massive if you catch this move. Okay. If you're not in already, here's how you play this day. Any holds over pre-market, so we trickle in, we do this dance here, we dip down, we bounce, they prove we can hold that. We opened, they hold this level here, get long, stay long again. I'm not shorting just because I think the market is up too much. I got to short, where it makes sense at key levels. So first plan of attack, if we open over this, get long, stay long on it. Buy all dips into EMAs until they fail you, hourly 20, VWAP, whatever it is. We open at this or under this, we fail this pre-market, or we sell through it during the market. Any breakdown retest, your puts are here. Your risk is small and reward is potentially big. I'm shorting this because what are we doing? We are starting the gap fill on the way down. If where the news came out, that's that gap fill, but gap fills from trading session, that is a gap fill here, $10 gap. So we sell under, the next support is now resistance. I'm looking for a retrace down. Doesn't mean I'm mega bearish on the day, just a retrace back down, next support. Okay. We start getting really weak and just, whatever, markets are not believing the news on the tariff trade deal, whatever it is, we're getting bearish, sell through that. Fine. Let's get that full gap fill back to the daily 200. Smack your calls there. If there's any place you can get calls after a huge sell down, this is your spot all day long, every single day. This is going to have, you know what? Actually, I'm going to do it now. I'm leaving alerts here. Don't, maybe they trigger tomorrow, maybe they trigger in 2 months. But that's how I find key levels to buy the dip on an ugly market or buy your puts on a market that looks like it's pushing up. I just find those key levels there. So probably another level here. If we kind of sell down pre-market, we sell down halfway. That's kind of a halfway retrace for me. I kind of want to see what we do there based on that candle there. SPY, again, zoom out. That red zone that I talked about here. Let me compress this chart. Try and just focus on the level. I know the candles are small here. So big level here, big, huge level here. Basically anything over 570. They hold that. They can prove they can hold that. I'm staying long on the day, on the week. So that 570 here I talked about at the beginning of class. Quick recap. We are flying. What's overhead though? Daily 200. You better mark down your chart if you don't think you're swimming, you know where it's at. Basically, if you're on Webull or Robinhood, whatever it is, you literally go the daily, you put the daily 200 on your chart, and it says, okay, it's at 537.27. It's going to move a little bit. Basically, you literally just set an alert. And then you go to the intraday chart and you trade this. So any break, so if we trickle in here, any quick sells here, I'm a dip buyer for sure. So dip buyer, buy calls, stay long, definitely overhead resistance 200, trim if you're scalping, SPX you're scalping for sure. Upper range here 574.4. Sell through this again. This is scalp zone, or if you're not a scalper, this is no man's land. Stay off these trades. Anything into here, we start bouncing, ranging. Fake sells get wicked up, big buyback, stop side puts. Fake breakouts, I think the buyback's coming, big wick on top, they sell back down, stop you out, you're gonna be hating life. Scalp, for me, this is no man's land into here, not for me. And actually, I want to see, like I said, I talked about it. Any breaks under 570, oh, that's ugly, sorry about that. Any breaks under 570, I'm bearish on the day because we gave up what should have flipped huge support. Buyers, are just giving up on this level here. So any sell through that, I'm waiting for breakdown, retest, getting my puts because this is, I buy a couple of days time. If we kind of trickle up into here, I got to willing to behold to see a little bit of red. Do we break over this? Yeah. If I have a couple of days of time, I'm cutting up. Any puts here, sell down, this is going to come quick. This gap fill, any market weakness is going to come quick. Trim, smack your calls all day long down here. Any questions, you guys? I don't see anything. Thank you guys for sticking around. AJ, BB, iPhone, Ish, John, Kath, Kevin, Laura, Magoo. Good to see you here, Magoo. Marciel, I think I'm saying that correctly. Norvin, Ray, Scotty, all the regulars, all the newbies. Thank you guys. Let's have a good week. Again, if you're on calls and you swung them, just sell that. Have a good day because you guys caught, literally a $10 move up, stuff that people dream of, like sell it, literally log off for the day, go get some fresh air. No need to just watch the markets for 5.5 hours, you guys. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Let's have a great rest of your night, great week. Let's trade smart. My watch list might be a little bit light tomorrow. Everything is going to be gapped up, I'm sure. I hate trading gap ups. It makes it tricky to trade, to find levels for you guys, or good levels, that is. But I'll try and get something in the chat and the watch list for you guys. But again, you guys, thank you for your time week after week. With that, I'm in the chat. Have a great night, guys.